Hello everyone, this is a 7th standard NCERT of the geography. We are going to start. We will cover each and every important details of this NCERT which will be helpful to the prelims exams. World Environment Day. World Environment Day is on the 5th June. But what is environment? It is this word has come from the French word means neighborhood. The everything you see in the surrounding is called environment. But going further, environment means it includes biotic or the abiotic. Biotic means plants, animals, and abiotic means the non-living factors which are land, solar, air, water, etc. Now another important thing is what is lithosphere? The lithosphere means it is a thick solid upper layer of the earth's crust. There is earth, the upper layer of the earth's crust, solid. It is called lithosphere. It is present not just on the continent, but lithosphere plates we find in the oceanic plates also. And lithosphere includes first we see as the plains. There will be a plain, then there will be a flat tabular upland which we will call as a plateaus. Then we will see as a mountain, one mountain. And these mountains, if they are continuous like this, they are called ranges. So they are present in the land, in the surface area. What is hydrosphere? The domain of the water on the earth is called hydrosphere. Simple. What is atmosphere? It is an envelope on envelope. Earth has an envelope of air surrounding it, and gravitational force which binds this envelope of air. What is biosphere? Look here, this diagram. This is a land, air, and this biosphere. Sorry, land. This is air, and this is water. Where they interact with a place where all these three things are present, it is called biosphere in the simplest term. And what is ecosystem? For the ecosystem, we have to understand what is ecology. Ecology means the study of animals, plants, and everything. And for the ecosystem means how these plants, how these animals, how they interact with each other. When they interact with each other, what place food and energy get exchanges between each other, and they also interact with the physical and the chemical factors. This is called ecosystem. And now inside our earth, this is a second chapter. Geology means study of the earth, and the earth has a radius of the 6400 kilometers. For the lithosphere we have already seen, it is an upper layer of the earth crust, but upper layer of the earth crust is made up of what? It is made up of the crust and the outer mantle which is present in it. And now another term is asthenosphere. What is asthenosphere? Suppose this is the earth, upper layer is called crust. Now there will be a mantle, and inside there will be a core, outer core and the inner core. And there is a, in this upper mantle area, there is an asthenosphere. There is an asthenosphere from where all the activities like the magma where is present and the volcanism comes out of. Now the crust. Crust is the uppermost layer and the thinnest layer. It can be divided into the two parts. One is continental crust and the other is oceanic crust. The continental crust, the depth of the crust is 35 kilometers, where the oceanic crust depth is just 5 kilometers only. And the continental crust is made up of what? Sial. Sial means silicon and aluminium. Continental crust. And now another is oceanic crust. Oceanic crust is made up of what? It is made up of SIMA. It is SIMA, Ci, silicon and the magnesium. Now looking further, the crust is made up of what? We have seen that, we see that ocean, the crust of the oceanic plates is made up of basaltic. How this basaltic? Because the magma when comes out the asthenosphere, it is in the form of the basalt. So it is a basaltic crust or oceanic crust. And when the two plates get interact with each other, it can be either oceanic crust, it can be either ocean or the continental crust. So this plate gets interact with each other, and it can be result in either into the andesitic or the granitic. Now second is, as we go inside, there is a core. It is a 3500 kilometer thicker. It is an innermost layer. It is made up of what? We have seen that continental crust is made of Sial, oceanic crust is made up of Sima, and the innermost core is made up of Nife, nickel and ferrous iron. Now, the if we look about the outer core where temperature is dominates. We have seen that there is an outer core and the inner core. In the outer core, what we find, the temperature dominates, and when this temperature dominates, it results into the liquid. So more the temperature, it results into the liquid form. So the outer core is in the liquid form, and we go inside further, there is an inner core where the pressure is higher than the temperature. When the pressure is higher, then it results into the solid form. So outer core is in the liquid form and the inner core is in the solid form. When they interacted, a dynamo is results into the, okay. Now the other asthenosphere, it is a weak zone, we have already zone. It is in molten or the semi-molten form, a place where the magma resides, and it results into the volcanism that we will be seeing further. Now, what is mineral? What is mineral? Mineral is a naturally occurring substances that have definite physical and the chemical properties. That have definite physical and the chemical properties. It is called minerals. When suppose this is a rock, this rock is made up of several minerals. One mineral, second mineral, third mineral, like this. Okay. So rock is what? Is an aggregate mass of a mineral matter that makes up the Earth's crust. And the petrology means what? It is a study of the rocks. Important question for that. Now, rock cycle. What is rock cycle? The rock cycle means transformation of the rocks from one to the another is called rock cycle. So what are the different types of rocks? We see the igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and the sedimentary rocks. First, we see igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are the primary rocks. Igneous means related to the fire. The rocks which are formed from the molten lava magma that comes from the interior of the earth. So how this originates? We have seen that there is an asthenosphere where the molten or the semi-molten magma lies. So when it comes out, the rocks are formed, and it can be in form of the intrusive rocks or the extrusive rocks. And what we see in the intrusive rocks, it is formed in the interior inside the earth, and it cools down very slowly. It takes thousands of the years. So as a result of this, large crystals or the grains we see as it cools slowly. So large rocks are found in it. Example, we see the granite. Now we see the extrusive rocks. It is present in the outside earth. It cools outside. Suppose for the example is taken plateau. So when the lava comes out and it cools very very quickly, and as a result of this, there will be a small crystals will be formed. Example, there is a basaltic lava which resulted into the Deccan plateau. Now we find the sedimentary rocks. What is sedimentary rocks? Suppose there is an igneous rocks and the it can be intrusive or the extrusive, and it results into the how these sedimentary rocks are formed. So the process of the mechanical, biological, or in the liquid form or the temperature, it will weather it into the small particles, and these small particles will be carried out with the various erosions or the agents, land, air, water, and as a result of this, it will be compressed into the one part, and in the result of this process is called lithification and will result into the sedimentary rocks. For example, we find the sandstones and the limestones, and inside this, what we find the fossils also, because some dead animals or the plants will get into the rocks. Now another is metamorphic rocks. So there will be igneous rocks and the sedimentary rocks, and suppose plate tectonic activities happens and the upper part goes gets submerged to the down to the earth, and what will be result in this? The pressure and the temperature will go changes, and as a result of this changes in the pressure and the temperature, the rocks also will be transformed from the igneous either or the sedimentary to the metamorphic rocks. So it will take the thousands of years this to happen. Can be changed into the metamorphic rocks. So what are the examples of the metamorphism? We see the clay can be transformed into the slate or the sandstone, and second is limestone can be transformed into the marble. These are the example of the metamorphism. So lithosphere, the number of the small or the large slabs. These are the lithospheric plates. Now continuously there is an endogenic force and the exogenic forces which are continuously working. Endogenic forces we see in the form of the lava, magma which resides in the interior of the earth, and the exogenic we see the outside. It means weathering or the erosion activities which is continuously in the. Now another theory is related which is given in this book is continental drift theory. The continental drift theory originally was given by the Alfred Wegener in 1912. It is what it says that the continents were divided into the Laurasia, Gondwana land, Pangaea, Penthesilea oceans, and it got drifted through the various force. It was a pole force which drifted this continent to the present area as we see today as a major seven continents. More theory also came after that, and which resulted into the formation of a new theory. This theory helped to give the conclusions, and recently which is known as plate tectonics theory, that there are several plates. So what is volcano? Volcano, we have seen that if we look here, this is an earth, and here there will be a mantle, and the mantle we see there is an asthenosphere. In this asthenosphere we see there is a magma chamber. In this magma chamber, where the lava, where the magma is present, the magma will come out of this through the, here a vent will be there, and when it will come out, this will be called as a lava, and the whole process which we see is known as volcanism. So it is origin in the form of the origin is where is in the mantle, in the magma chamber. Opening we called is a vent. When inside it is called magma, and when it is outside it is called lava. So what is an earthquake? Earthquake is sudden shaking of the earth crust due to the movement of the lithospheric plates. Lithospheric plates are continuously into the movement. We see that Mount Everest height is continuously increasing. It is result of the movement of these plates. And what we see here, what is focus and what is epicenter? The focus means if there is an suppose this is an earth, from where a point there will be a point from where this earthquake emerged, and from where this earthquake emerged from below the earth is called focus point. And above the surface area, we see, suppose from below this an earthquake emerged. So below that point is called focus, and the way we are standing here, that point will be called epicenter. There are three types of waves. First is P waves, second is S waves, and third is L waves. P waves is called primary waves, and this primary waves, because it can passes through solid, liquid, and the gaseous. And the third and the second is S waves. It will reach secondary, so it is called S waves. In the L waves, it comes after the interaction with the earth, and it will result, it gives maximum damage. So there are two important things that we need to understand. Is one is seismograph and is another is Richter scale. So what is seismograph? Seismograph means that we are measuring. We have seen that measuring the heartbeat like this. So we see that one page that this type of uh, we see, and it is measured in this seismograph, this machine. What is Richter scale? It is in magnitude. What magnitude of the earthquake we have seen? It is a 4.4, 6, or what? Okay. What is weathering? Weathering is a means a process of breaking down the earth rocks. Suppose there will be a rock, it will be continuously will be break down through which processes. Suppose this is a rock, it will be disintegrated from the here. Second part will be disintegrated from the here. Third will be disintegrated from the here. Fourth will be disintegrated from the here. And this is called weathering. It can be due to the liquid, to the water. It can be mechanical through the either through the heat, to the frost, to the cold, or the various other types of stress. And the third is biological. Biological can be done due to the animals. Biological can be done to the due to the animals. Animal will continuously move to the grassland. It will continuously disintegrate the rocks. So, what is erosion? It means the when the rocks get disintegrated, it will be carried out. It will be carried out by whom? It will be carried out by the wind, air, right? Water, and the various other things. So, weathering and the erosion are the responsible for the various different landforms on the earth surfaces, the way we are seeing. So landforms as a result of the endogenic activities and the exogenic activities, and after this weathering and the erosion will be happen, and the deposition also. What is waterfall? Waterfall means, suppose there is a river. This is a surface area, and it will tumble from the a steep angle downwards. Over a hard rock. There will be hard rock, is known as waterfall. Example, jog falls. What is meander? Suppose there is a river, it will not always be in this form. So how it will go? It will start meandering like this. So you have seen this meandering. This will be called, it will be in a large bands. This is called meander. That river is meandering. Now the another is oxbow lake. The meanders will be formed, but these meanders will be formed like this. We see here, and there will be a continuous deposition. Okay, there will be a continuous deposition due to the erosion will happen, and there will be deposited sand, silt, clay, etc., various other things, and other from these various parts. So suppose this deposition will break down this one part. This one part will move away from the main lake areas like this, and a lake will be formed. This is known as oxbow lake, for your simple understanding. So what is floodplain? Floodplain means when a river Floods. Flood will happen. It will deposit fine particles of the soil and the other materials. Various other sediments will be also deposited to the nearby plains areas or the banks. It will be in the form of sand, silt, clay, and the various other things. This is known as floodplain. So when this floodplain gets continuously deposited like this in the bank area, when it start getting deposited like this, a layer will be formed, and these layers will rise into the banks, and this is known as leaves. Okay, what is distributaries and the tributaries? For the tributaries, we have seen that in the 6th NCERT also of the geography, that small rivers will joining the major river is called tributaries, and the distributary means when the river is in the last in the lifetime, when it will going to merge into the sea, what will we see? That there will be numerous distributaries will, because the speed of the river will get decrease, and it will get divided into the various other channels, and this channel is known as various other river system. It will get into small rivers. It is known as distributaries. So what is the delta? The delta will be formed in the mouth of the sea. That excess load that is carried by the river is deposited at the mouth of the river, and the collection of the sediments from all the mouths form a delta. This type of shape will be formed, and this is known as delta. So what is the work of the sea caves? Sea cave. Sea cave means, look here. Suppose there is a big type of rock is here like this, and the water will continuously bombard to the these caves, and the rocks will go away from this area, particular area. A hollow type structure will be formed, is known as sea caves. A cave, it will look like a cave. Now the sea arc. After this, we see this whole part will go away due to the water, and only this type of thing we will look. It is known as arc, sea arc. So what is the stacks? Stacks means this will also go away, this part, and only this part will be left. We see in the near the beach areas or something. This will be called stacks, and due to this, beaches will be formed. So what is the ice? Ice, for the this we use the term glaciers. So what is glaciers? These are the river of ice. They moves very slowly. So the glaciers are just ice, but they will be moving very slowly. So when there will be a, suppose there will be a glacier, it will continuously move from the one part to the another part to the here. Okay. So from this they will start eroding from the below. As they have greater mass, they will come from here to here, this area, move from this area to this area. They will start erode, and from this, when they come to this particular plain area, they will deposit various other things. These are known as glacial moraines. And we here we will see the deposit of what? Small, large rocks or the silt, various other sediments. So this is an also erosion agent. So what is the work of wind? Wind is an active agent of the erosion and the deposition in the deserts. In the desert, we will find the wind is an active agent. So what wind will do? The wind will erode the lower part of the rocks more than the upper part. So suppose this is an upper part, this is a lower part. Wind will blow like this, and it will erode the lower part. Okay, so it will erode more the lower part, and this give the shape resembling like a mushroom shape. So that type of rocks are called mushroom rocks. A structure we see like this, those the side by areas will get eroded first. So this type of shape will be formed. Sand dunes will be formed. LOSs will be formed. What is atmosphere? In the sixth standard, we have seen that it is an envelope of an air where the gravitational force binds it. What is the composition of the atmosphere? So what is present in this atmosphere? First is nitrogen. It is in the highest form, 78%. Oxygen in the 21%. Third is argon, 0.93%. This can be asked in the prelims. And the fourth is carbon dioxide. So water vapor is also present in the atmosphere. Now we look at the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is also greenhouse gas like the water vapor. The increase of the carbon dioxide will trap the heat which got radiated from the earth. So it is a greenhouse gas. So suppose this is an earth, there will be atmosphere, and here suppose the carbon dioxide will be present. So this carbon dioxide will trap the heat, and it will radiate towards earth. So global warming happens. If the amount of the CO2 increases, global warming happens. What is nitrogen? Nitrogen is present in the 78%, but it is in a neutral form. So plants needed the nitrogen, right? Plants cannot use this nitrogen directly, so they have to depend on their various other bacteria, which bacteria named the Acetobacter, Nitrosomonas, and various other, which they lives in the roots of the plants. So heated air, cold air, and the air circulation. So when the air is heated, it will expand and rise up. So another is cold air. When it will be when there will be cold air, it will be denser and the heavy. It will sink down. So the lighter the air means that it is heated, it will go and rise up. And the cold air means it will be a denser and it will come down. So the what is air circulation? When the air gets heated, it will rise up. So a low pressure area will be created. And the cold air surrounding it will take place to fill the vacuum. So the air circulation takes place, right? So when the air get heated, it will rise up. Suppose this is an earth. When the a particular region, there will be low pressure, because the air is heated, it will go upwards. So this space will be created, and this space will be taken by the cold air. Cold air will come to this place to fill up the space, and that's how air circulation take place. What is the structure of atmosphere? On the depending the density and the temperature, we have divided into the various parts. First is troposphere, second stratosphere, third mesosphere, fourth thermosphere, and the fifth exosphere. So 0 to 13, we see there is a troposphere. The average height is 13 kilometers, and all the weather phenomena will happen in this region. Second is stratosphere, which has ozonosphere in it, and that protects from the ultraviolet rays and free from the all the weather phenomena, and it is ideal suited for aeroplane. Third is mesosphere. Mesosphere where the meteorites get burned up and we find the charged ions in it. Thermosphere contains ionosphere. It is from the 80 to 400 kilometer, and it is ideal for the radio transmission, which we hear from the radio. Exosphere, it is a very thin air where the light gas is like helium, hydrogen, floats into the space. So what is weather? Weather means day to day activities and the changes in the a particular area. We call it as a weather. What is climate? Over a period of years, 25, 30, several changes will take, and this is known as climate. So we call it as a climate change. The climate change is happening. The temperature means degree of hotness or the coldness in the air, whether air is either hot or the cold. We call it as temperature. What is insolation? Insolation means incoming solar radiation coming from the solar energy intercepted kept by the earth. Now the another question. Thermometer is measuring for the temperature. Barometer, we measure atmospheric pressure. Wind vane, direction of the wind. So what is temperature? Temperature means is measured by the thermometer, measuring the temperature in the degree Celsius. It is invented by the Andrew Celsius from the 0 to 100 degree. So what is the another thing is range of temperature. Range of temperature means there will be a range for a particular season, means it can be winter, summer, monsoon, and or it can be of the particular day. So how we can measure from which is the maximum temperature to the minimum temperature? It is called range of temperature. So for the air pressure, what barometer we use? Air pressure means force that is exerted by the weight of the air on the earth surface. Suppose this is an earth, a force that is exerted. Force by wind downwards to this particular region. This is known as air pressure. So highest pressure of the air we find at the sea level area. The lowest pressure of the air, pressure will be as we go upwards. So when a people are traveling to the Leh Ladakh, they carry oxygen with them, or the Mount Everest, when they carry the oxygen. For the low pressure, what is the condition? A particular condition for the low pressure area, that it means the more heat, the air will go rise and up, and a particular place will be taken by the cold air. So ideal condition for the low pressure area. What is the high pressure area? High pressure area means there will be a very less heat. So when there will be a very less heat, the air will get down, and as a result we find the clear skies and the sunny skies. In the low pressure area, when the air get transported to the upwards, it will result in the formation of the cloud skies and the wet weather, and rainfall can happen due to the convection rainfall. So what is the winds? Winds means movement of air. Movement of air from high pressure area to the low pressure area. It is called wind. So there are permanent winds. Permanent winds which include the trade winds. It can be westerlies, easterlies, or the polar easterlies that moves in the definite direction. So what are the seasonal winds? It means when the season comes, then it will take place. Wind change the direction as per the season. Suppose the monsoon winds, it will come only during the monsoon. So it is called seasonal winds. So what are the local winds? It blows at the local level. So Lu, which is present in the northern India, a particular period of a year or a day. And another we find the land breeze, sea breeze, which are local winds. Moisture. The all things are important for the prelims. What is water vapor? When the water evaporates from the water bodies, when the water will be evaporate from the water bodies, it will result in the formation of the water vapor. So what is the humidity? Humidity means we feel the humidity when we go to the coastal areas. When after the monsoon season, after the rain comes, we feel humid. What is this? The amount of the water vapor present in the atmosphere at any time, it is called humidity. So more the water vapor in the atmosphere, we find it's humid. It is difficult to dry our clothes when it is humid, as the atmosphere will not accept more water vapor. What is rain? The precipitations, which comes down in the form of the liquid. Okay. So what are the types of rainfalls? First is orographic rainfall, which is given in this NCERT, cyclonic rainfall, and the convectional rainfall. So what happen in the orographic rainfall? Suppose the wind is present, it will move from downwards to the upwards like this. A cloud will be formed here, clouds, and it will start into the precipitation. So rain happens. It is called orographic rainfall. What is cyclonic rainfall? Cyclonic rainfall means there will be a warm air, and another there will be a warm air, another there will be a cold air. They will continuously move towards each other like this. So in a particular place, they will come to rest. So what will happen now? A front will be formed between them. This will be studying in the higher classes. A front will be formed from where we have seen that always the warm air will get uplifted, and warm air will get uplifted, and there will below that there will be cold air, and it will continuously move into the definite in the windward directions, in the circular direction, in the cyclonic form, and a rainfall will happen. This will call as a cyclonic rainfall. Now another is a convectional rainfall. What is a convectional rainfall? A particular area or a particular part where there is a continuous heat to the land. So there will be a warm air will get upwards. Warm air will get upwards. The more the temperature, the more evaporation will happen, the more water vapor will happen. The more water vapor will happen, the more it becomes cold in the atmosphere, and the clouds will be formed, and it will result in the rainfall. This is known as convectional rainfall. See the diagram there also is given here. So for the water chapter 5, 22nd March is World Water Day. What is water cycle? It means the water will continuously change its form. It can be either into the solid form, glaciers, it can be the rain in the liquid form, in the gaseous, in the water vapor, and circulates. It will continuously circulate between the oceans. From the ocean, it will go to the atmosphere, and from atmosphere, it will precipitate into land, and it will continuously circulate. This is called water cycle. Now the another is ocean water. So ocean water contains large amounts of the dissolved salts, and the dissolved salts will be in the sodium chloride or the common table salt. It can be in the form of the sodium chloride or the common table salt. Now the another is salinity. So what is salinity? The amount of the salt that is present in grams. It can be in the for the 1 kg or the 1000 grams. What is the amount of the salt is present in it in the 1 kg or the 1000 grams? It is called salinity. Particularly, an average salinity is 35 parts per thousand. And the Dead Sea, important fact, it has a highest salinity which has 45 parts. It is present in the Israel. What is ocean circulation? The ocean water we see, it will continuous. It is not a standstill, but it will continuously move from one place to another in a definite direction. This is called oceanic circulation. And how this will happen? It will be in the form of the waves, it will be in the form of the tides, or it will be in the form of the currents. So what is waves? So what is the waves? When the water on the ocean surface, water will be present in the waves. How these waves will be formed? Suppose it will rise and falls. It will rise like this, and it will fall. It will rise, it will fall like this. Okay, this is called waves. But why this take place? It take place due to the winds. The winds will continuously force this water down, and once the wind will go away, this water will move once again upwards. As a result, these waves are formed. So the upper part, which gets lifted, is known as crest. This lifted part, when we see, is known as crest, and when the water get down, it is known as trough. Okay. What is tsunami? Tsunami means the harbor waves. Why the tsunami happens? In 2004, we have seen our Indira Point got submerged. What is tsunami? Tsunami means it happens. Why? It is also known as a harbor waves, which damages the coastal areas. So it can happen due to the volcanism. It can happen due to the earthquake. Due to the result of the earthquake, a sudden tremor, a waves can be formed. Landslide. Suppose land, one land get collapsed. This, as a result of this collapse, a waves can be generated. Is known as tsunami waves. Or the plate tectonic activities. Two plates getting interaction with each other, and the man-made things like atomic bomb experiment in the sea. Now it is banned by the CTBT, like this. What are the tides? The tide means rhythmic rise and the fall of the ocean water in a twice in a day is called tides. So the tides can be in the form of the low tides, or it can be the high tides. For the high tides, when the water covers much of the shore, when water covers much of the shore area, when we stand to the beaches, it will cover much of the shore areas. It will called high tides. And when it go backwards as much as the area, we call it the low tides. So why the tides are formed? The tides are formed by the gravitational pulls, which is exerted by the moon and the sun. It only happens due to the moon and the sun. But which is the most important factor for the formation of the tides? It is the moon. Why? Because moon is very much closer than the sun. So more the this means the spring tides, when highest tides will be spring tides, which will result due to the moon. Okay. So what are the spring tides and the neap tides? During the new moon or the full moon, we see that all these are present like parallelly, like this. Sun will be present here, moon will be here, or the earth will be here, like this in the direction. And as a result of this, the highest tide will come. Okay. Because the force will be exerted more by the moon, it result into the spring tides. Why it is good? What are the benefits? It benefits means it is good for fishing. The fish will come closer to the beach areas. The ports and the ship will get easier access to the port. It result into the generation of electricity. In a twice a month, we see these spring tides. What are the neap tides? Neap tides are the lowest tides. What are the lowest tides? Formed when the moon is in the first and the last quarter. It will be diagonally opposite towards each other. So not as much as force is exerted like we have seen in the new moon and the full moon, like this. It will be in the present, like here. The sun will be here, like this. Okay. So it will result in the neap tides. Because the sun and the moon will counteract with each other. What is the moon's attraction is the lowest, twice as strong as the sun, because it is closer to the earth, as we have seen. What are the ocean currents? What are the ocean currents? Ocean currents means are the streams of the water that continuously flow on the surface of the ocean at a definite direction. We have seen it can be types. It can be a warm or the cold. Warm or cold. Warm currents we see originates from the equator region, because there is a much heat. It will be a warm and it will blow towards the poles. Suppose this is an earth, this is an equator. The originating from here, there will be more heat. They are warm. They will move towards the poles. Okay, like this. And from the poles, they will move towards the equator area. Examples are the Gulf Stream, North Equatorial Current, or the Brazilian Current. So, what are the cold currents? Cold current carries water from the polar high latitudes to the tropical currents. Example, Labrador currents. In the same way, from the polar region, the currents will also move towards this equatorial area because the warm water has flown from the equator to the pole areas. The space will be created, and this space will be taken by the cold water. What is the effect of the current? It influences the condition of the area. Warm current, the warmer will be the region. Simple. Cold current, the chilling effect it will give, and it will be the cooler region. When cold current and the warm current converge, it it is the best fishing ground of the world. So some of the best fishing ground we have seen in the Japan and in the North America. Example, new there is a coastal area in the eastern coast. It also creates a foggy condition. Foggy condition not ideal for the ships. Natural vegetation. So what is important? The growth of the vegetation is depend on what? Depend on the temperature, soil, what is moisture, what type of slopes, and what nutrients it's get. The classification of the natural vegetation we can be divided into the forest, it can be the grassland, or it can be the shrubs. Now we look about the forest. So there will be a tropical rainforest. The tropical rainforest are found where there is an heavy rainfall, about 200 centimeter of the rainfall, average rainfall. It is found near the equator and the close to the tropical areas where heavy rainfall occurs. So what type of climate we will find? We will find there will be much heat and the heavy rainfall. Why they are called evergreen? Because trees never shed their leaves. The trees will find here? There will be hardwood trees, rosewood, ebony, mahogany, and kapok. So example, in the Brazil, it is called lungs of the earth. In the Brazil we find anaconda, world's largest snake. We find in the evergreen forest in the Brazil we find the Amazon, world's largest river, and the animal like tapirs. It is an ant eater. The tropical forest in India is found. These are the important questions for the prelims. Please remember, in India it is found in the northeastern region where the heavy rainfall. We have seen the Cherrapunji, Myswaram, where heavy rainfall occurs. In the Western Ghats, due to the orographic rainfall, and the Andaman Nicobar Islands, because it is very present down to the equator where the continuous rainfall happens. The second thing is Asia. It is present in the South Asia or the Southeast Asia. The third is North Australia. In the North Australia also we find this. In the South America, we have seen the Brazil, Amazon. In the Central America, we find this. In the African region, we find in the center, where the Central Africa, Democratic Republic of Congo, etc. etc. Now the tropical deciduous forest. The tropical deciduous forest is also known as monsoon forest. It is present in the large parts of the India. It is present in Central America also and the Northern Australia also. So what trees are found? We have seen in India also teak, sal, shisham, neem, people, etc. They are not as dense as rain forest. They are not dense because they shed their leaves. Now the another important is temperate evergreen forest. The temperate evergreen forests are found where? In the mid latitude region. Particularly in the coastal regions, it is found temperate evergreen forest. So where they are found? They are found in the south and the east side of the continent. In the south, downwards, and the eastern side, we find this temperate evergreen forest. So what type of trees are found, this will be asked. So where it is present in the Southeast Asia, South China, and the Southeast Brazil. So you have to remember like this: mid latitudes, and it is present in the southern part and the eastern part. We have seen that, suppose this is an earth, this is suppose this is a country, this is a south part, there will be a north part, northeastern part will be taken by definite type of forest. For the southeast part we have seen this temperate evergreen forest. Now for the other thing we will see, and for the western part also we'll see. We have to remember like this for the exam, for good for understanding this diagram. Okay, trees, both hardwood and the softwoods are also found: oak, pine, and eucalyptus, and heavy rainfall will occur. So temperate deciduous forest. So in the lower latitude, in the southeastern part, we have seen the temperate evergreen forest. And the as we move higher towards the area latitudes, on the higher latitudes, in the north, in the eastern part, but in the northern side, we find the temperate deciduous forest. We find this in the various places like USA. It can be in China, in the Chile, New Zealand, and the coastal region of the Western Europe. It is deciduous, so they shed their leaves also. And what type of trees are found? Oak, ash, and the beech. What animals we find here? Pisids and the monals. So temperate evergreen, we have seen that it is in the southeastern side, and the temperate deciduous forest in the north side, but is also present in the east east side, and we have seen the countries. So we have already covered the southern part and the northern part of the eastern hemisphere. But what about the western margin? So in the western margin now we see western margin plus southwestern margin. We find the vegetation called Mediterranean vegetation. Where this Mediterranean vegetation is found? It is found in the Mediterranean Sea, in the Europe, where Mediterranean Sea is between the Europe, Africa, and the Asia. In the California, California is also on the western side of the USA. Now in the Africa also, we find Southwest Africa and the Northwest Africa. The southwestern South America is in the Chile. In the Chile, we find that there are three types of vegetation: first, second, and the third. Okay, middle there is will be a Mediterranean, lower there will be a British, and northern part will be a desert type, like this Sudan. In the southwest Australia also we find. What is the climate? Summer will be drier, no rainfall will occur. The rainfall will occur only in the time of the winters. So mild rainy winters. This type of climate we find. And the plantation will be signed. We will see here the various orchards of the grapes, famous for the wines, and another olives, figs, lemons. We see here. Not much wildlife exists. So not there is much denser grasses or the types of trees is ideal for the animals. Now we see the coniferous forest. So coniferous forests are also called taiga. Taiga in the Russia means it is called untouched. It is found in the northern hemisphere at a 50 to 70-degree latitudes, at a very high latitudes. But in the southern hemisphere we will not find this, because in the southern hemisphere much there is a sea area, oceans are present. So where the coniferous forests are also seen, not just the higher latitudes, but at the higher altitudes also. As we go towards more towards the height, we find the coniferous forest. So trees found are here are tall and the soft, which are ideal. Soft trees are ideal for what? For making paper, for making pulp, and the newsprint or the matchbox. Example: cheer, pine, and the cedar. So what are the animals we find here? We find here polar bear, silver fox, etc. So what is tundra vegetation? The tundra vegetation, as we go more towards the higher altitudes, we have seen that the 50 to 70 coniferous forests, and up on more than that higher latitudes, we see the tundra vegetation. The tundra vegetations are mostly seen in what form? we see the trees as a shrubs. A very small shrubs will are found. It grows only during very short summer season. They have very short summer season, so a small shrubs are only found. It can be mosses, lichens, and these things. In the polar regions, in the Europe, North America, and the Asia, the animals we find here: polar bear, seals, and the walrus. So grassland, we see there are two types of grasslands. One is tropical grassland, the second is temperate grassland. So they are found on the suppose this is an Earth 0 degree. So on tropical grasslands are found here. Tropical. Here there will be much heat. There will be a tropical forest. As we go towards the tropics, rainfall decreases. Rainfall decreases. It results into the grasslands. These are called tropical grassland. So moderate to the low amount of rainfall. We find the Africa as savanna. We see in the National Geography. The second we find the Brazil as a compose. In Venezuela as a llanos. In South Africa as a wilds. So second is temperate grassland. The temperate grasslands are found in the mid-latitude zones in the interior of the continents. It is present in the interior of the continents. In the North America, we find as a prairies. In Argentina, we called as a pampas. In the Central Asia, we called as a steppes. And in the Australia, we called as a down. All these are important for the prelims. Please remember. So, what are the shrubs? They are bushy plants. They are smaller than a tree. Mostly when there is a very cold and the hot region, the shrubs are found. So for a thorny bushes, dry desert-like region, a thorny bushes will be found. In a tropical deserts, western margin of the continents, there will be a very scarce vegetation because there will be a very scanty amount of the rainfall and the very scorching heat. So what type of vegetation we see? Cactus and the date palms. The date palms which we import from the other countries. What is tundra vegetation? Okay. What are important other facts? Manali Leh Highway is one of the highest roadways in the world. These are the some facts. Okay, we have to remember. Golden Quadrilateral, which connects the four major cities: Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. Indian Railway network is the largest in the Asia. So, what are the other waterways we see? Waterways: Ganga, Brahmaputra river system, Great Lakes, and the River Nile. They have waterways. In the Great Lakes, we find between the waterways between the Canada and the USA, which is ideal for the transportation, and it decreases the cost as the minerals which we get from the Canada get transported easily to the American region. Important from ports in the Asia is the Singapore ports, Mumbai ports. In the North America, we have two important other ports: Los Angeles ports and the New York port. In the South America, we have Rio de Janeiro port. In the Africa, we have Cape Town and the Durban port. In the Australia, we see the Sydney port. In the Europe, there is a Rotterdam and the London port. So now the question is, what are the equatorial regions? Equatorial regions means from 0 degree to the 10 degree, north or the south, is known as equatorial region. Another is tropical. Tropical we find from the 23 and a half degree north to 40 degree. Sorry, tropical we find from the 20 degree, okay, 10 to 20 degree. And the third is subtropical. This we find between the ideally from 23 and one and a half to 40 degree one and a half, okay. These are called these are the three important regions as we divide on the basis of the latitudes. Now we look about the Ladakh. Ladakh is made of two words, La, La, and Dak. Means La means mountain pass, and Dak means a country, means mountain pass country. So where it lies, geography, it lies in the Greater Himalayas. In the Greater Himalayas, there are the two important ranges are present. In the northern side, we find as a Karakoram range. In the southern part, we find as a Zaskar range. And between this range, we find Ladakh here. So Indus river will also flow from this area. And the important tributaries are Zaskar, Nubra, Shyok. Now the climate. What is the type of climate here? It will be extremely cold or the dry. What type of flora and the fauna we find here? First, we see the animals. Animals see we is a Chiruot Tibetan antelope. It is an endangered species. It is famous as is known for the Shatush wool. And for the vegetation, there will be a very high aridity. A salinity will be very high. It is a desert area. There will be a scanty grasses and the shrubs only we find here. And some of the grooves of the willows or the poplars will also find here. It is in the summer we see the apples, apricot, and the walnuts also. So for a religion, two religion is present: Buddhist and the Muslim. In the Muslim, we see here Shia population, and the Buddhist monastery for the art and culture. These are important: Thikshe, She, Hemis, and the Lamayuru. In the winter month, what people will do? It will engage into the festive activities and the ceremonies because there is no work, no cultivation can happen. In the summer season, we see the apples, apricot, and the walnut. As the temperature increases, it becomes ideal for the cultivation. An important other fact is Leh, now it's a union territory. There was also a demand of the making in the including in the schedule Sonam Wangchuk. Okay. NH1 connects the Leh to the Kashmir Valley through the Zonjila Pass. Now, Brazil. How this Amazon name it got? In Spanish, the story of Amazon we see in Spanish, the local tribe got reminded them of a tribe, the ancient Roman Empire, which were known as Amazon. The local tribe got reminded them of a tribe which were present in the Roman called Amazon. So, what is the geography? Geography is 10-degree north to the 10-degree south, present in the equatorial region. And river Amazon flows through here. River Amazon will start from the Andes, from the western part, and it will continuously flow to the ocean called Atlantic Ocean. So here there will be Andes. From here it will start flowing from west to east. This can be also asked in the prelims. So Amazon basin includes various countries. We also need to remember because it is the largest river basin in the world. Most of the areas are covered. It covers the Brazil, parts of Venezuela, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia. So what type of climate? We have seen the tropical evergreen forest. So the climate will be hot and the wet climate. Animals we see tapir. It's an ant eating. We have also seen anaconda, the world's largest snake, also found in here. The movies are also in the Hollywood. Birds we see the toucans, hummingbirds, and the birds of the paradise. This can be asked in the environment in the other species. Bromeliads. What are bromeliads? A special plants will be there which store waters in their leaves is called bromeliads are also found here. Fish. A flesh eating piranha fish prelims question is also found in the river. What type of agriculture people do here? Slash and burn. So what they do, no modern techniques are used. They just cut down or the burn and do cultivation. What are the staple food here is staple food manioc. It is also known as manioc. It is also called as cassava, which grows underground like the potato. Like our potato, there is called cassava. Okay. Now the house. What type of house? A beehives like type of house people will live, and another large apartment type house like which is known as meloka. Meloka are also found here. In the 1970, Trans Amazon Highway is formed due to the old parts are accessible now. More notes important. They are here we find thick forest. Sunlight do not comes directly as the canopies are higher and it is constantly covered with the trees, epiphytes and the several other layers. The ground will be dark in the damp area. Now for the Sahara Desert, it is the world's largest desert. It covers an 8.54 million square kilometer. India it is through to 3.2 square. So you can see how much difference and how much larger this desert it is. And 11 countries are present here, which covers Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Western Sahara, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Sudan. 11 countries are included in it. The climate desert, obviously, it is hot and dry. The air will be hot, so the low pressure area will be there, and so the clear skies and the cloudless. What we have seen in the low pressure area, we have already seen that there will be clouds formation, right? But here it is not same. Why? Because so much temperature is there, do not form clouds. So vegetation we find is cactus, date palm, acacia. And oasis, there are particular region, there are green islands where the with the date palm surrounding them because they have water inside it. The people we find in the in the Sahara area, there will be a nomadic tribes. We have seen in the several movies in the Hollywoods and some Indian movies. So they are called Tuaregs or the Beduins. We find the oases in the Sahara which support the settled population. The people will take the water and will support the date palms and other things. And the Tiferet oasis in the Morocco is the largest oasis in the world. And three countries in the Sahara's desert, for example, Egypt, Libya, and Algeria, have also oil present in it. So this is it for the 7th standard geography NCERT. For the more NCERT and the various other courses, we are also starting an application in the name of the Shakti IS Academy. More further courses, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for the more good videos. Thank you so much.